أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وآله وصحبه ومن والاه. Dear Muslim brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are welcome to the English translation of my book, توحيد الله بالعبادة وأهميته. This book. This is the publication I am talking about. I'm undertaking its translation into English language myself. May Almighty Allah spare my life to finish its translation as well as many other Arabic works that I have the intention of translating them into English and Yoruba. This one is the English translation which I commenced. May Allah enable me to finish it, inshallah. We are going to page 49b, which is a rearrangement because of the typo error. The typo error that occurred when this book was being published few years back. This was supposed to be page 51, but it was made to be 49 repeated, and that is why we made it now to be 49b, although it must be page 51. On this page, Al-Thani, chapter 2 of this book, Haqiqatu Tawheed Allah بالعبادة, the reality of the unification of worship in Allah, is what I want to talk about here. Rabbi ghfirli wa tub alayya innaka anta tawwabul ghafur. Allahumma ya Rabb, yassir wa la tu'assir wa tamim bil khair. May Almighty Allah make it easy. I am not claiming perfection, but I am only trying my best. In this second chapter of the book, Al-Mabhath al-Awwal, here is the first area of research. Bayanu mafhumi Tawhid-Uluumil-Islamiyyah. Bayanu mafhumi Tawhid-Uluumil-Islamiyyah. Explanation of the concept of Tawhid-Uluumil-Islamiyyah, which means the unification of Godhood in Allah alone. To Him belongs divinity. وَأَنَّهُ حَقُّ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْعِبَادِ, and that the unity of divine Godhood is the right of Allah upon people. Now, Al-Mas'alatul Ula, the first matter for debate is this: Mafhumu Tawhid-Uluhiyyati Lugatan, that is, to explain the concept of Tawhid-Uluhiyyah literally, that is, in the linguistic term. Then on page 50b, which is supposed to be page 52, if not because of the stereotypo error that occurred from the printer. Under the symbol فاء تقسيم 2 تقسيم 1 تقسيم 1, I say في مفهومها اللغوي, about its literal sense. الألوهية معناها ثبوت صفة الإلهة. When we say uluhiyya in Arabic, its meaning is the permanence of the quality of divine godship. كما في قراءة صحيحة, as it is in the correct order reading. Another recitation of a verse in Al-Quran al-Karim with regards to the saying of Almighty Allah, لِقَوْلِهِ تعالى, when the Almighty revealed in Surah Al-A'raf, that chapter that is numbered 127 in its verse. Al-A'raf is chapter 7, and this verse is 127. In this verse 127, a correct manner of reading is like this: أتذر موسى وقومه ليفسدوا في الأرض. Are you going to allow Moses and his people to make mischief on the land that is under your control? وَيَذَرَكَ وَإِلَهَتَكَ, while he has already forsaken your divinity. He does not believe in your divinity. It's very, very unfortunate that the network has truncated the sitting. But don't go away. We are coming back. We are coming back. You could see what the idol worshippers said about Prophet Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, just because of their interest in worshipping other than Allah, while Prophet Musa invited them to the worship of Allah alone. That is why I say the meaning of their statement here is ثبوت السجية الإلهية فيك, that Prophet Musa is denying your right to the trait of godhood in your own being. They were telling Pharaoh, don't you understand how Musa denies outright the establishment of the divine nature within you? That is that not too outrageous for any citizen of your country not to have belief in you as a deity? وَالْكَلَامُ كَانَ مِنْ مَلَإِ فِرْعَوْنَ لَهُ. The speech came from Pharaoh's entourage, his chiefs. It came from his chiefs who were persuading him to persecute Prophet Musa alayhi salam. فَقَدْ تَشَبَّعَ بِمَا لَيْسَ فِيهِ. Pharaoh has become full of what was not within him. وَرَأَى أَنَّهُ اكْتَسَبَ صِفَةَ الْإِلَهِيَّةَ فِي نَفْسِهِ. Has he wrongly believed that he had also acquired the divine qualities of godhood in himself. فَقَالَ مُتَكَبِّرًا. That was why he arrogantly told people in Misra that people erroneously translate as Egypt. Egypt is not the translation of Misra. Misra will remain Misra. You don't have to go and translate countries like Nigeria now. You don't have to just going on translating it. Call Nigeria Nigeria. So let us call Misra Misra instead of saying Egypt, while Egypt is referring to the non-Muslims of that country. So Pharaoh told his citizens so arrogantly, as Allah revealed it unto us in verse 38 of the Holy Quran, in Surah Al-Qasas, Quran chapter 28, in verse 38, Allah revealed how Pharaoh arrogantly told his people, مَا عَلِمْتُ لَكُمْ مِنْ إِلَهٍ غَيْرِي. No, I do not recognize any deity for you besides myself. I do not know of any other God for you other than myself. فحشر فنادى فقال أنا ربكم الأعلى. As in verses 23 and 24 of Surah Al-Nazi'at, which is Quran chapter 79, I think. Pharaoh arrogantly said that there should be no other God for his citizens to worship besides himself. Now, here in Surah Nazi'at, as Allah Ta'ala revealed it unto us, Surah Nazi'at is chapter 79. Yes, chapter 79. in verse 23. فحشر فنادى. فحشر فنادى. So Pharaoh gathered people and proclaimed with his high voice very loudly. فقال, as in verse 24 of this same chapter 79, Surah Al-Nazi'at. فقال, so he said, أنا ربكم الأعلى. Oh, citizens, I am your Lord, the Most High. Pharaoh told the citizens that he was their God, the highest, their Lord, the Most High. فيكون المفهوم اللغوي للألوهية. What we want to let you people understand from this story is that the linguistic concept of uluhiyya, divine godhood, هو استحقاق العبادة, is the right to deserve being worshipped as a deity. ولكنما ذلك وصف للبارئ تعالى. However, that is a description peculiar to Almighty Creator. You call linguistically, literally, it will be said in Arabic, Aliha ya'alahu ilahatan wa uluhatan. That someone takes a deity for worship and assume in him the status of divinity. Wa uluhiyya. Therefore, giving him the full status of being divinely having right to be worshipped. على طراز القول في رب يرب ربابة وربوبة. Exactly as it is been said in the Arabic language this way, that a person owns something for nurturing, warububiyatan, and put that thing into the position of lordship, lordhood, being the Lord. فالأوليان إلهة وألوهية مصدر اشتقاق وتصريف. The first two terms, ilahatun and uluhatun, are derived and conjugated sources. They are derivations. They are sources believed to be the origin of all other derivations from the word. بينما الأخيرة ألوهية مصدر صناعي ينتهي بياء النسبة وتاء, while the latter word ألوهية is an artificially synthetic root source word ending with the linguistic ya'un nisba, the attributive letter yaw used for ascribing something to another. Just as you people know this speaker as Al-Ijebuwi. I am being related to Ijebu. I am an Ijebu man. Al-Ijebuwi. So I am related and being ascribed to Ijebu. So when you say Uluhiyya, you use that Yahu to appropriately ascribe the position of divine godhood to Allah alone. And in addition to that, you use Tau. Not only Yah, you also use Tau, which is the proportional letter for such root word in the Arabic morphology, Ilmu Sarf al-Arabi, in the Arabic science of morphology. Al-uluhiyyatu lillahi ala khalqihi. Therefore, divine godhood exclusively belongs to Allah over His entire creations. كالعبودية من الخلق لربهم. Just as the devotional servitude is from the side of the creatures towards their Lord. Creatures worship Allah, and Allah Ta'ala is above all, is the one that created all, and so He already said the rationale behind their creation is for the purpose of worshiping Him. So, Uluhiyya belongs to Him, and Ubudiyya is from their side. Uluhiyya, that is the divine godhood. Ubudiyya, that is the divisional servitude. ولهذا سمينا مؤلفا لنا بعنوان هو عبودية الخشية بالنظر في قوله تعالى والله أحق أن تخشى. For this reason, we have titled one of our related Arabic works as عبودية الخشية بالنظر في قوله تعالى والله أحق أن تخشى. The servitude devotion of fear by heart in view of the Almighty saying the Almighty saying that Wallahu ahakku an taksha, Allah has more right to the referential fear of your heart. This is the book which I wrote in Arabic. This is the book. This is the book. This is the book. Hope you all see it. This is the book. It is also published by Daarul-Uluumil-Islamiyyah. Daarul-Uluumil-Islamiyyah. This book was written when I was lecturing in one of the universities of Pakistan as an assistant professor of Crete before I resigned and returned to Nigeria to enable the Ijebuwi'S benefit from my treasure of knowledge, being the first Nigerian PhD holder from the prestigious Islamic University of Medina, from where I graduated in 1993, equivalent to 1414. 1993 in the Gregorian calendar, 1414 in the Hijra calendar. Na'am, that is for that. Falilahu. Therefore, whenever we mention the word Al-Ilah, huwa li-ma'budu alladhi ta'allahuhu al-qulub, it simply means the worshipped being whom hearts revere. That is, people approach him with affections of their hearts. Ay tatawaddatu ilayhi. They approach him with affection. They love him and they worship him. Walafzul jalalati Allah, and then the word of majesty, Allah, huwa bima'na al-mustahiqi lil-ibada, is in the meaning of the one who is worthy of worship, the one that solely deserves being worshipped. That is Allah, 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 the only being deserving worship on the part of the creatures, human beings inclusive, angels inclusive, the jinns inclusive. لا بمعنى القادر على الاختراع والخلق. The word Allah is not in the meaning of the one able to invent and create. No, that is not the meaning of Allah. Allah is not in the meaning of the being capable of inventing and creating. No. كما يظن البعض كما يظن البعض, not as some people are thinking. That is just the thinking of some people, that it is a wrong thinking. وذلك لأن الألوهية هي استحقاق العبادة. Well, you people should know that Allah, that word is not in the meaning of the Creator. Al-Uluhiyya, the divine Godhood, هي استحقاق العبادة, stands for the deservation and having right to being worshipped. لا بمعنى القدرة على الاختراع والخلق, not in the meaning of ability to invent and create, كما يظن البعض, as some people are thinking. No, it's a wrong thinking. It's a wrong thing. It's a wrong interpretation of the word. Allah does not mean the one that is able to invent and create. No, it is the one that is solely deserving being worshipped. That is the meaning of Allah, Allah, Allah. وَلَفْظُ الْجَلَالَةِ, Allah. This word of majesty, Allah, عَلَمٌ عَلَى الْمَعْبُودِ بِالْحَقِّ وَحْدَهُ, is a proper noun, identically denoting the worshipped in truth alone, the one that has been truly worshipped alone. فلا يتشبع به غيره. فلا يتشبع به غيره إلا صار كلابس ثوبي زور. Therefore, no other being shall dare take up that divine Godhood, except that such shall become like someone wearing two false garments, which does not belong to him. It will be a stolen garment. Anybody that ascribes to himself that position is a thief. وَأَصْلُهُ al-ilah. The origin of the word Allahu in Arabic is al-ilah, the deity or the God. And that is why we Muslims, when we say Allah, it is different from what other people may be thinking when they are now using the same word for Jesus when they are singing. In northern Nigeria today, we have been observing that non-Muslims who are making waka in their own dialect, be it Hausa, Fulfude, Igala, or any other dialect in the north, when they sing, they use the word Allah, Allah for Jesus. It is wrong. It is wrong. In the Arabic language, Allahu is for the one deserving worship. And Jesus does not deserve worship. Jesus is a prophet, alayhi salam. May Almighty Allah shower His blessings upon him. So, the origin of the word Allah is Al-Ilah, Ilah. فحذفت الهمزة الموصولة ثم حصل الإدغام بين اللامين فقيل Allah. Here, the connecting Hamza, Hamzatul Wasl, is orthographically omitted for being a vowel sound, and then insertion occurred in between the two consonant letters, lam and lam. Two lambs, two lam letters were now inserted into one another. هكذا معرفا بالألف واللام أبدا. They constitute a definite article D. Also, as the cutting Hamza, Hamzatul Qata was omitted, the two lambs are merged together, and this resulted into saying Allahu, that which is now always and is permanently defined with the definite article D, so that it will appear like that forever, in order to glorify the one for whom Uluhiyya belongs. تعظيما للذي ثبتت له صفة الإلهة الحق. With that, glorification occurs for He that the characteristic attribute of divine Godship could be established, and so it is affirmed for Him alone. Well, that is for it. We have entered into the linguistic explanation of the word, and thank God that we were able to easily explain it. So, my listeners, whenever you hear the word Allahu, that word is peculiar to Allah, the one that we Muslims are worshipping. And that is why we Muslims do not worship other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Here I am pausing till we meet again in another episode, which will be episode what? Episode 39. That one will be episode 48. We have now finished episode 39. What we mentioned now has been episode 39. So, we hope that you will meet me again on episode 48, inshallah, to continue the translation of the book. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.